Hi Leos, welcome to your September 2018 monthly readings. Can't believe it's September already, you guys. Christmas is just around the corner. I've been saying that to people and they're like, oh, it's so far away. It's 3 months. So when you're doing shopping for Christmas, and you got Virgo in you, you try to plan a little earlier so I got these animal cards. Some of them are bugs. Okay. And yours is Dragonfly, which is pretty cool. Actually a Gemini. My sister's got strong Gemini. A Gemini was posted something once about dragonflies, and I researched them after I seen that. But one of them, and I actually seen a dragonfly outside. One of the myths is like it's an angel that comes down on the wings. It's a message when you see dragonflies, like you got an angel, a guardian angel protecting you. That was one of the myths that I had heard. It's like a little fairy came down from heaven. It was an interesting story. The card says transformation, metamorphosis, past life, awareness, the subconscious, lightness of the wind and sun, release from old habits, and then new thoughts. And I'm just going to read from the book because I don't know all that much about him. I haven't got to cross-check a lot of stuff. It's also my Virgo. So it says the dragonfly spends most of her life as an underwater monster called a nymph that breathes through her anus. After 5 years of catching prey with jaws, the dragonfly climbs up a reed and splits into two. The dragonfly, in the form we are used to seeing, crawls out of the head of her larval skin and lives for several days or weeks, fast and light. That's weird. In her adult stage, the dragonfly is the fastest flying insect. She can reach speeds up to 60 miles per hour and can change directions in an instant. For these reasons, it is no surprise that the dragonfly is symbolic of change and transformation. She is connected to both the light and the dark sides of experiences and teaches us of the multifacetedness of being. That's interesting, you guys. So some of you guys could actually be like leveling up here. Somebody, I think Pisces had that, and it was after I did the reading, I heard Sierra's new song, Level Up. So I don't know, maybe that song has some importance to you guys, because now every time I say level up, I hear that song. But that could have some meaning for you guys. So it seems like some sort of transformation's happening. Also talking about leaving old things behind you. So things that no longer serve you. Old way of being, old way of thinking, old way of doing things, that type of thing. So it's understanding that like it's a cliche to say through darkness comes light, right? But it's not the things that you have to fear in the darkness, okay? Because you can always flash light in darkness. It's the things that are hidden in light that you should fear a little more than the darkness. So never be afraid of things that are unknown to you, okay? So that's kind of like when people say if something sounds like it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Or it's like the knight in shining armor, right? Everybody like is looking for the knight in shining armor, but they fail to remember that a knight in shining armor, if he has shiny armor on, or her, right, it's shiny because it's never been used before. And as the card said, that it has she's connected to both light and dark, okay? So experiences, because that was the next word. Sorry you guys, I'm thinking in my head. Right, so your past experiences teach you so like if you've been dating people that looked good, okay, but you weren't following their actions, okay, aligning what you hear and you see, right? So it's like changing the old way of doing things. So now you're not basing it on the way that people look, you're actually basing it on the way they make you feel, okay? I'm just going to keep shuffling these until your cards drop out. I got some dental work done, so I have like a lot more saliva in my mouth than I should. still a bit swollen, so you know when you're talking, it's like it's funny. Where any new thoughts that you have, you want to follow it. Where okay, there we go. So you have the Fool card. You have the Six of Wands, the Six of Wands, and the Tower card. Dun dun dun. It's Tower can be both good and positive. So what you need to know is that well, for some of you guys, there's going to be like a new adventure, okay, or you're going to be getting out more, or invited out more, or going on some sort of trip. Something new is going to occur in your life. Um, and it does say that with the Dragonfly transformation was part of that, where you have the Seven of Wands underneath, which is like um, barriers. All right, that's what I got. Barriers. It's like you're some of these barriers that you have, it's like some of these things that I don't know if you have to accomplish them or things that you know you have to do. It's just basically saying that um, you're making them bigger in your head than they actually are. And that sounds weird. So it's like, yes, it's going to be hard, but it's not going to be as, I don't want to say as hard as you think, but I mean, trial and error is going to come into effect here, but it's not as big of a deal uh, as you actually think it is. So if you fail, it's not that big of a deal. If you take a chance and you get rejected with somebody, it's not that big of a deal. Uh, if you have some delays on your travel because you have the Fool card here, which is adventures, all right, quests. I like to say quests, especially with my Leos and Aquarius. Uh, it's not that big of a deal, okay? Trust your intuition with trickery, okay? It's like if somebody tries to upsell you, don't fall for that. You know, do your research on things first. You have the Six of Wands, which is like being victorious, pushing forward, movement happening, also a journey. All right, with the six of Wands is also a journey. This guy's got his Viking hat on, you know, so he's like, and it's a camel. I used to think it was a horse until I really looked. It's actually a camel. All right, so it's water could be really important for you guys, ensuring that you're drinking lots of water. That can be important for you guys. But movement, in order for a new change to begin, movement's needed. Okay, so action needs to be taken. A new health regimen. Okay, I know myself, Leos. I think I put on 12 pounds. It was 12 pounds in the past couple of months. And I think it was Leo's reading that we got a card that said um, foods, something about foods being like um, tempting or enjoying food, basically. I've been enjoying food. So for me, this would be like I have to start a new health regimen. It doesn't bother me to gain a little bit of weight, you know, because it's winter time. So uh, you had a few more cards than needed. You have the Three of Swords. You have the Four of Wands. You have the Page of Wands, so a message coming through. So you could hear something that changes things. Uh, it would self-realization needs to come into effect here. You have the Magician. Okay, so there could be an ending with the three. Okay, don't freak out when you see the Three of Swords. There could be an ending due to manipulation. Okay, or trickery, or lies, or deceit, communication. It would end due to communication. All right, or this is saying that there's heartache being caused due to communication and lies, or how somebody's communicating. Because the Seven of Wands, what I got with that was like things being bigger than they actually are. So like an argument can occur out of something really small and it doesn't need to occur to that level. Yeah, see, the Magician is about, you got the Moon card here, it is about lies, deceit, manipulation, trickery, that type of thing. You have the Knight of Pentacles, you got a really good friend here. Okay, this is the astute, avid learner. The person's very detail-oriented, very facts-oriented, also takes things with a grain of salt, okay? Will ask multiple people the same question and do, because they've realized that everybody has their own perception. Also, everybody has their own agenda, right? So they take things with a grain of salt. They hear things from the horse's mouth because they're very detail-oriented. Some of you could get a message from a friend that surprises you. It could be a good surprise. You have Judgment, and you have the Six of Wands again on the Six of Wands. This is a lot more cards than I needed, you guys. And then you have the Fool card again. So they really want you to, you got to make a judgment call here to manifest and have your new beginnings. All right, it's basically, yours is really simple this month. Where it's basically saying, so any negative self-talk, because you have high manifestation powers here, you need to clear that. The way you talk to yourself, you need to clear that. I recommend putting an elastic or rubber band around your wrist. Anytime that you're having a negative mindset or a negative thought, or you're worrying that there's a negative outcome, snap it, right? So that it'll deflect the mind from thinking negatively, okay? And then try to revert that negative thought to a positive thought, okay? So instead of going, what if this happens and it goes wrong, try to say, what if this happens and it goes right? What if I get the job? What if I actually accomplish this new business? Or what if I actually finish my schooling? Whatever it may be, okay? Like, what if I heal this relationship? That'll work, okay? Instead of what if I end the relationship. There is a judgment call you're going to have to make, is what you need to know. It is going to be a new beginning in some manner, so you may have to get a little uncomfortable, do something that you haven't done before, try something you haven't done before. This could be in the manner that you speak even. So instead of getting angry, it's saying you directly come out with why something bothered you or hurt you or upset you. So when you said this, it upset me because it made me feel like this. Like being, I don't want to say reverse psychology, because this is not playing games at all here. This is like extinguishing the games and being clear-minded, even with your children, right? So this is like new rules, and that's also a song too. But there's new rules here that you got to implement, and it's talking about yourself. Some of you could be separated from somebody that you really miss, and it is saying that eventually you're going to have to make the judgment call to come together. It's interesting. You got little fairies on the moon card too. You are going to, okay, so what you need to show is movement, okay? And it's taking steps towards your foundation, and like whatever foundation that is, whether it's in business, in school, and bettering yourself, and healing. So it's like counseling. If you feel that like you've plateaued at a certain point, nothing wrong with seeing a counselor, okay? Because counselors are there to prevent problems as well as help you heal issues, right? And it's better to go to prevent an issue from popping up. Like if you've got out of a relationship and you notice some sort of relationship pattern that you have, you can go see a counselor before you get in your new relationship and discuss those issues to try to heal and transform those, like, if that makes sense. Some of you might have like a kid that could, like, I don't know if they're going to break something or they're going to do something, but they're going to lie about it, and you're going to know that they're lying about it. I don't know why I'm seeing that. Like, so in this manner, they're pushing their boundaries. Okay, so you may have, because we talked about rules, like the word rules came through, and you may have set a rule, and now you have a child that's just it's a fire sign, so they're pushing their boundaries. All right, they're trying to find out where the rule actually, like, if you're gonna, like, and the thing is, if you're a parent, you can't sway if you place that rule. It's talking about not swaying at all. It's talking about because they're gonna push boundaries here, so you have to make sure your boundaries firm and you're not allowing them to uh, inch past it. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to be firm. So it's like if you have to make them sit there on the chair until they can act normal. You know, well, not normal because there's no such thing as normal, but as uh, a, a human being, not getting upset, not causing problems or being verbally upsetting to the family. You know, until they can take responsibility for their actions, and you've when they come to you and you're like, okay, do you know why mommy or daddy put you there? And like, you want to ensure that they're not just telling you what you want to hear, because then that's them pushing that boundary and getting around it if you allow them to remove from the seating area that they had to think about. Does that make sense? I can't talk today. I don't know why. But don't allow them to push your boundaries. Okay, they are gonna be testing your boundaries. Okay, so it's like if you have an older child perhaps and you gave them a curfew and they came home 5-10 minutes past that curfew, it's them pushing their boundaries. All right, because if you let it slide once, then they're gonna go and instead of 5 minutes, 10 minutes. All right, so you want to ensure whatever disciplinary action you take, you are firm in. You can also go with friends and coworkers. And then what you need to grow is not being afraid to end things that no longer serve you, or not being afraid of change. Uh, that could be hard for you guys, but with the tower here uh, and the cards that I got, the energy I'm getting, it's saying that not to fear change, to be a little experimental as well, and you may have to do things in an unorthodox way, it's saying. So you may have to handle solutions in a unorthodox way, okay? Thinking before speaking, grounding yourself. So this may even mean you need a day before you respond to somebody, or instead of making an impulse buy, give yourself a little time um, before you purchase it, because you got luck on your side here. It is showing you got luck on your side. You do have a journey and an adventure here, but it's also saying what you need to grow is your learning capability. So this would be studying, researching, fact-oriented, detail management. Uh, like by detail management is like looking into things before you decide to do them. Okay, or getting out there with your friends. It's like going out more with friends and family. It's also talking about your finances and your health. You really want to, you might do those things in an unorthodox way too. Maybe you're a female and you enjoy kickboxing. You can get that on Groupon really cheap. Or maybe you're a male and you're going to try yoga. Okay, that's unorthodox for those, usually for a female to do that or a male to do that. All right, like some people do it, but it's not seen as natural for those sexes to do those things. It is a month to be optimistic and not fear change here. It is saying that. Um, Take chances, and if things don't go the way that you pictured it in your mind or you foreseen it, it's saying it's okay because the next time you do it, you'll get a little bit better at it. So communicating, if you're the type of person who doesn't communicate issues and you're attempting to do that with a sibling, a partner, a friend, it doesn't go well the first time, you'll get another opportunity to do it and you'll get a wee bit better at it. It is saying that. Even going after your goals or getting a new hobby, you might not be great at it in the beginning, but in the end, you'll see the um, benefits of it. Okay, but it is talking about a slower, uh, more painful outcome. So it's like hiccups. There's going to be hiccups, but it is going to be enjoyable as well. All right, like because there's going to be improvement here, is what it's saying. Any house improvements that you have to make, like electrical issues, you want to tend to that. But yeah, if people invite you out, it is talking about going out, having fun, uh, good whole-hearted family fun. That's here too. You know, potluck dinners, those types of things, neighborhood parties, uh, but new things. So if you haven't been to a museum before, go to a museum. It's talking about that, like, because these things are going to spark you. Okay, could give you clarity or even ideas. You are going to be victorious at anything that you do. It is saying anything that you are going after, you will eventually be victorious. So with a job, if you didn't get the promotion right away, first of all, ask them why, or you applied for a job, what was the reasons they didn't give it to you, and then try to improve on those areas or get the upgrading that you need for those areas, and then go back to them. All right, because resilience is quite powerful. They'll see you as somebody who's willing to grow and learn and develop with their company. All right, constructive criticism type thing. That people actually appreciate that. It shows humbleness. You know, like anything you're going after, though, you're gonna be successful at it. So, um, your health regimen, it's gonna be successful. You just have to know that it's gonna, it's not easy to give up sweets. So it's gonna be hard, okay, and painful. That's painful to give up sweets. Okay, any like, uh, if you got a new job, it's like really hard, but it's rewarding. It's saying it's just things aren't going to be as easy as you thought they were, but they're going to be, by the end of it, is what I'm getting. It's going to be quite rewarding or successful, if that makes sense. But it is coming down to you and you alone. It is saying that. You may have a friend that can help you or give you information, but that's as much as they're going to be able to do. It all stems down to you making these judgment calls, and you making the changes necessary. Uh, and for some of you, if you do like break up with somebody, like if you're watching for a Leo, then don't acknowledge that. Okay, this would be for a Leo that is watching and they know that they're going to break up with somebody. It's saying that it'll be beneficial for your growth. Okay, because like it comes down to how do you feel? Okay, do you feel good or do you feel bad about that decision? All right, like because if you're being a mature adult and you realize that you're not um, with a person that's going to be forever, then it's saying don't hold on to what no longer serves you. So, respectfully speak to the person and be mature about it, and just be open and honest with them. And, it's saying that the universe will reward you for that. Rare. All right, you guys. Hopefully this helped you out. Namaste, and I will talk to you next month. Ciao for now.